Snakes are the fourth most common phobia in the world. Needless to say, even the smallest snakes often make people squirm, or worse, run in fear. Today, we're going to see 10 of the biggest snakes ever found, including a tree-climbing serpent, one the size of a giraffe, and a cannibalistic monster with a mean streak. Hold on tight, subscribe to the channel, and let's take a closer look at the 10 biggest snakes ever found. Number 10. An anaconda that don't want none. The smallest snake on today's list, this yellow anaconda is technically a member of the boa species, but much larger in fact than even large boa constrictor. Growing to an average of 15 feet, they can weigh between 50 and 70 pounds. Rare members of the species have been known to reach far greater lengths, as we'll see a little later in today's list. This particular species is considered to be highly aggressive and particularly dislikes humans, especially when kept in captivity. This aggression can make them highly unpredictable compared to other similarly sized species of snake. If you needed any other reason to be creeped out by these slithering serpents, it is worth noting that they are also one of few species known to practice cannibalism. And if you thought 15 feet was a long snake, just wait until you see our number 1 entry, a snake so large it is well over twice the size of the giant yellow anaconda. Number 3. The green anaconda. While the size of the green anaconda is often exaggerated in movies and legends, but it's rather unnecessary. In fact, the green anaconda is among the planet's longest snakes, reaching lengths of 17 feet and weighing more than much longer pythons. Indeed, the green anaconda isn't the longest or heaviest snake in the world. It is still one that most creatures wouldn't want to cross paths with. Throughout most of its native territory, locals tell tales of the big one, enormous green anacondas that have devoured humans and livestock. While these tales are most certainly all exaggerations, if they encourage people to stay away from these giant snakes, it might be better for everyone involved anyways, since if threatened, the green anaconda would certainly possess the ability to kill a human with little effort. Left to their own devices, the green anaconda would rather dine on tapirs, capybaras, deer, peccaries, fish, turtles, birds, sheep, dogs, and aquatic reptiles. When need be, they have been known to take down jaguars. Before we go on, like this video, pop the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell right now, or the ghost in your closet will manifest itself tonight. Number 8. Burmese python. Southeast Asia is home to numerous giant snakes and other fierce predators, one of which is the Burmese python. The Burmese python can reach limits of 19 feet and are often found in swamps and other moist areas. Despite their incredible length, their brown color can make them surprisingly difficult to see until it's too late. This is also in part because the Burmese python is an opportunistic hunter who would rather quickly snatch nearby prey rather than wrestle with more resistant prey that may have to stalk. Unlike many other snakes on today's list, you won't always avoid an encounter with this giant snake simply by watching where you step. This is because the Burmese python has what is known as a prehensile tail. This is often more common in primates such as capuchin monkeys, howler monkeys, and spider monkeys. This tail acts almost as another appendage, similar to hands and feet in case of the Burmese python. This talent allows them to easily climb and perch themselves on trees, where many predators may be unable to reach them. It also allows them to lie in wait for prey such as birds and their eggs. Number 7. Indian python. Despite bearing the name of Indian python, this lengthy reptile can also be found in China as well as Pakistan. If you are unfortunate enough to stumble upon one, you probably won't see the whole thing at once. That's because the Indian python can reach an average length of 21 feet. If one stood up on the tip of its tail, it would be roughly the size of a giraffe. In addition to being sheerly enormous, this serpent is also highly versatile, even though they prefer damp surroundings. They can survive just fine in arid desert environments as well. Despite being more than 20 feet long, the Indian python is slow-moving and timid, typically choosing to avoid conflict even if attacked first. Like many snakes on today's list, the Indian python will feed on mammals, birds, and reptiles indiscriminately. However, they do seem to prefer mammals they can catch with little effort. Number 6. Amethystine python. The amethystine python, also known as the scrub python, is native to Papua New Guinea, and all things considered, it's actually a gentle giant. This massive serpent can reach lengths of 24 feet and weigh upwards of 200 pounds. Despite this, they have very little interest in starting a fight with any other creature. In fact, even when it comes to food, the scrub python will always take the easiest meal. Just because they are gentle, however, doesn't mean they aren't curious. In fact, they are well known to sneak into people's homes. But even if you find one of these 24-foot monsters in your home, you're probably in fairly little danger, all things considered. This is because the scrub python is non-venomous and its diet typically consists of small rodents, bats, and small birds that it can catch off guard when they congregate at watering holes. Number 5. Flyover snake. A 26-foot python was discovered on Payet Island in Malaysia by construction crews who were attempting to construct a flyover to ease traffic congestion. Seeing as Papua is a massive tourist hotspot, the discovery of this giant snake garnered considerable attention. The sheer size of the snake meant that it took nearly half an hour just to catch it. In a new viral photo, you can see 18 people working together to hold up the snake, a true testament to its incredible size. Number 4. The Papuan python and the Akbar snack bar. A 26-year-old Indonesian man named Akbar was in the midst of harvesting palm oil on his family's farm when he suddenly vanished. Locals reported hearing screams and a struggle late in the evening, and soon authorities began a grueling search of the area. During their search, they discovered an incredible 30-foot Papuan python not far from where Akbar had disappeared. The snake had a large mass at its center, leading researchers to believe it had recently ingested a large meal. Authorities didn't immediately want to kill the snake, but became increasingly concerned when they noticed the shape of a boot in its abdomen. When they finally cut open the giant serpent, they discovered Akbar's body inside. The area where Akbar died is known for human encounters with wildlife, including snakes, tigers, and even rhinos. This is due to the close proximity to the Indonesian rainforests. Number 3. Explosive snake. Brazil's Altamara caves have long been a hotspot for anthropological research. One day, workers set off a controlled explosion in the cave. When the dust eventually settled, they made a shocking discovery in the rubble: a 33-foot yellow anaconda. This massive beast weighed over 850 pounds and could only be moved by a crane. Much like the Amazon python, it is non-venomous, but still a definite threat to humans and most creatures smaller than it. The yellow anaconda is a constrictor, but considering suffocating prey can take considerable time and energy, they actually prefer a more opportunistic approach. Instead of waiting in watering holes to capture unprepared birds, fish, capybara, and even other snakes. Once it has a grip on its chosen prey, the yellow anaconda prefers an approach more similar to a crocodile, holding its victim underwater until it drowns, then bringing it back to land to consume. Number 2. Gigantophis. Even though it went extinct nearly 40 million years ago, the Gigantophis was the largest known snake to ever exist until 2009, when something even larger was discovered. Stick around to find out more about that in our next entry. Despite technically losing its title, the Gigantoph is certainly a noteworthy opponent, reaching average lengths of 35 feet. In prehistoric times, the Gigantoph inhabited the area known today as the Sahara Desert. When Gigantophis roamed the earth, however, the Sahara was anything but a desert. In fact, it was a sea, and Gigantophis was a water snake. Technically, it was neither a python nor a boa, but instead its own family of snakes known as Mastidoidae, all of which are now extinct. Number 1. Titanoboa. The biggest serpent ever to slither the surface of the earth, the titanoboa, reached lengths of 42 feet, but fortunately, it is thought to have gone extinct nearly 60 million years ago during the Paleocene epoch. The titanoboa weighed over a ton and was first discovered in 2009 when a fossilized specimen was discovered in Colombia. Like most constrictors, the titanoboa would have used its strong muscles to suffocate prey. However, scientists believe that the sheer weight of the snake would have been enough to finish off even larger dinosaurs. Surprisingly though, this enormous snake had little interest in consuming a big meaty T-Rex, instead spending most of its time in water feeding on large fish. Even though it is long extinct, the titanoboa has served as inspiration for numerous films involving larger-than-life serpents. That's all for the 10 biggest snakes ever found. Which one was your favorite? Have you seen a bigger snake? Let us know in the comments.